Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural Savannah Offshore Grand Prix, coming to you from beautiful Savannah, Georgia. Hi, everyone. This is Vince Lipari on behalf of Jeff Girardi and the rest of the Freeze Frame video production crew. This is the fourth stop on the APBA National Tour, and also a part of the Offshore Pro Series for the APBA. Nearly 80 competitors in all in this event. It's a three-race event. Now, on this tape, we'll be featuring races 1 and 2, consisting of Saturday's race, which was Factory 1 and all the P classes. In race 2, which is Sunday morning's race, we've got Factory 2 and the Super V light classes. The final race will be the Super Cat and the Super Cat light classes. Now, the new racing format allows for a shorter race course, also for more spectacular and spectator-friendly viewing, allowing the spectator to get right up close to the action. Now, this new format enables the fans to view 100% of the race while keeping the boats closer together, running deck-to-deck speeds of up to 140 miles per hour. Now, besides a great venue for racing, there are many attractions in this historic city of Savannah with its many landmarks and museums. Now, let's give you first off a couple of kilo run records that were set here this weekend in Super V Light. We've got Vortex setting the kilo run record at 89.672. That's Vortex in Super V Light. In Super Cat Light, Dirty Doug at 112.886. In PX class, it was Bacardi Silver at 168 miles per hour. And in the Super V Light Twin class, it was Utz Quality Foods Castaway setting a record of 106.153. Now, the APBA officials making this event as well as the season possible include Mr. Michael Allweiss, the CEO of the APBA, also President and COO Martin Sanborn, Executive Administrator Lynn Eason, Safety Director Jim Pomplin, Chief Inspector Paul LeBrew, Chief Referee Mike Tomlinson, Chief Scorer Dee Kimes, Director of Race Communications Jim Felton, and the Director of Sponsorship Fulfillment Tony DeCulba, and finally Drew Korn. He's the Homologation Director. Some of the local sponsors making this race possible here in Savannah include, first off, the Greater Savannah Sports Council, Savannah Chamber of Commerce, the City of Savannah, the U.S. Coast Guard, and also the Savannah Police and Fire Departments. And, of course, many, many more. Now, the sponsors for the APBA 2002 Pro Series Tour include Formula Racing, Tommy Bahama, Volvo Penta, Mercury Racing, we've got Harley-Davidson, also American Express, Racing Communications, that's Derry Racing Communications, Sterling Performance, Snap-on Talking Tools, Dollar Offshore, IMCO, Speed Channel, Volvo New Roads, Freeze Frame Video, and Mega Guard Marine Protectant, and many, many more. Now, the competitors for today's races included Factory 1 Activator, Mutual Fund. We also have H2O Motorsports, Patriot, SuperboatUSA.com, Sprint PCS Velocity, Treadwell Offshore Addiction, Flashway, Chicks Beach, Typhoon, Stellar Marine, and High Energy. In A class, it's Scott Free, Mountain Dew. In the P classes, it's Out for Justice, Big Oaks, Dirty Cash, Chances Are, Powerboat Tours, The Bat Boat, Team Mailman, High Priority, Screamin' Nuts, Wild Rose, and Bacardi Silver. Now, in race number 2, it's Solarize, Fury, PokerRun.com, Vortex, High Noon, Lucas Oil, Phoenix Waste, It's Quality, Pier 57, Rodriguez Group, Media Master, also Snap-on Talking Tools, Team Donzi, Herbert Racing, Harwich Concrete, Sonic Race, and Speedwear. And those are, one more we've got for you, Nick Carter Racing. Those are your competitors in races 1 and 2 on this tape. Our Freeze Frame Video is providing some 17 onboard cameras for you for this event here in Savannah. We've got 7 for these races here today. We've got a camera on board Patriot, also one on Chicks Beach Offshore, one on PowerboatTours.com, another on Big Oaks Offshore, 2 cameras on board Bacardi Silver, and another on Out for Justice. And those are your onboard cameras provided by Freeze Frame Video Productions. Also, Freeze Frame providing all races for this year as well as past races on the DVD format this year as well as VHS. All right, we're going to poke around a little bit here in the pit areas here in Savannah before we go to the Millionaire. And there's PokerRun.com, number 66. See some of these big, beautiful machines getting ready for this race. There's Typhoon. There's Chances Are, powered by Vortec. Addiction. Free race event here in Savannah. We're going to give you races 1 and 2 on this tape, Saturday morning and Sunday. All right, very shortly we will be airborne to bring you this inaugural Savannah Offshore Grand Prix. All right, as you can see now, we are airborne, and we're going to go with the Factory 1 start. The boats are beginning to line up. Competitors include Activator, Mutual Fun, High Energy Racing, Stellar Marine, Typhoon Racing, SuperboatUSA.com, Sprint PCS, Velocity, Treadwell Offshore, Flashwave, Chicks Beach Offshore, Patriot, and H2O Motorsports. And we've got a green flag now here at this inaugural Savannah Offshore Grand Prix Factory 1 start. And on the inside, we've got Typhoon, High Energy, and Propco, your early leaders, with everyone off to a great start. There you see the rest of the competitors right behind. It's Typhoon, High Energy, and Propco. And there they are from the inside. Typhoon, High Energy, and Propco on the outside. Looking back, there is Flashwave, Patriot, and Chicks Beach, and the rest of the competitors. Everyone off to a great start here in Factory 1. Typhoon on the inside, High Energy on the inside, on the middle there, and on the outside is Propco, your early leaders. There's High Energy with a slight lead. High Energy, a 27-foot activator. Michael Marley's the driver. Mike Kowalski is the throttle man. As we look downfield and moving up again, there on the outside is Propco. And High Energy on the left, and Typhoon coming into the picture there right in the middle. So it's High Energy, Propco on the outside, and Typhoon at the start.
We got it. Don't take it too tight, Mike. We got it. Keep it in, Mark. Keep it in. There it is, Mike. There it is in front of you, baby. Let's go get him. To your right. Go to your right. No. I got it.
That was Typhoon on the right side. 27-foot activator. Mark Kowalski, the owner.
Make sure we take it wide enough we can stay in it. Marco, come up on the right. Marco, tight, Marco. Hey, all right. Keep it in. Easy. Keep it in. Keep it in! Okay, that's the chute to our left! There it goes!
Back to a helicopter shot. High Energy in the middle. Propco there on its right, and on the inside, we've got Typhoon Racing. High Energy with a slight lead. Propco on the outside. There's Flashwave on the outside, Typhoon on the inside. Flashwave. And looking to the leaders, High Energy and Propco on the outside. High Energy and Propco. High Energy, a 27-foot activator. Michael McMarley is the driver. Mark Kowalski is the throttle man. It's the third race of the year for this team. High Energy Racing. By the way, a new sponsor for High Energy, Fifth Third Bank Corp. is a diversified financial services company headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. The company has $70 billion in assets, operates 16 affiliates with 960 full-service banking centers and some 1,930 Genie ATMs in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Florida, Michigan, and Illinois. A leader in e-commerce, Fifth Third was named #1 e-business innovator by PC Week. Financial strength of Fifth Third's affiliate banks continues to be recognized by rating agencies from Standard & Poor's and Moody's. High Energy, #1 right now in the early moments of this race. High Energy in Factory 1. Other competitors in Factory 1 include Mutual Fund, Activator, Stellar Marine, Typhoon Racing, Superboat USA, Sprint PCS, Treadwell, Flashwave, Chicks Beach Offshore, Patriot, and H2O Motorsports. But right now it's High Energy on top, #1, Factory 1. Right behind High Energy, it's Propco. Propco F-190, a 28-foot Warlock. David Carruth is the driver. Steve Wessinger is the throttle man. They are currently in 5th place in the national point standings in Factory 1. H2O Motorsports, Propco. Currently in 2nd place in Factory 1. High Energy, your leader, up ahead as you can see. David Carruth and Steve Wessinger, driver and throttle man. Steve Wessinger is from Waco, Texas. High Energy, your leader.
You're taking a walk, alright? A walk? Come on, that's a long time. How are we looking, clear? We're good, baby, we're good. Easy, easy, we're good. Keep it in, keep it in. Keep it in, this is a right turn up here. We're good, keep it going, baby, we're rocking. Easy on the stern. This is a tough one. I'm turning now. We're good. We're good. Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep it in. We're good. We're good. Keep it in. Mike, we can do it. I know we can do it. Now, unlock it right. Keep it in. This is Grantham Park. Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep it in.
All right, that was the crew of High Energy. Let's go now back to our helicopter shop. By the way, I should tell you that our helicopter company is Helicopter Enterprises. Scott Runyon, the pilot. And that is Propco in 2nd place behind High Energy. There's High Energy up front, 1 and 2. Mercury-powered Propco 28-foot Warlock. High Energy, your leader. Cloudy skies here in Savannah today. A little bumpy out here in the Atlantic Ocean. We're about 20 miles or so down the Savannah River from where the cranes and dry pits are. Propco in second place. Round the turn. Looking upfield, there is High Energy, your leader. And Propco. Typhoon Racing coming up. 26-foot Kryptonite. Glenn Murray's the driver. Randy Schluss, the throttle man. They're from New Jersey. Typhoon Racing took a second place in Marathon. Currently in third place in the national point standings. Also took a second place in Cape Cod. This boat has some 60 starts to its credit, Typhoon Racing. Crew members include Rich Asman, Jimmy Welch, Glenn Elwig, Mark Aziz, Brett Reiner, Big Eddie, Jack and Diane, and Bob Meyer. He is the media guy. Special thanks to Kryptonite Powerboats for building a superior boat and being a factory sponsor. Laura Gifford for being the team's best fundraiser. Brereton River Boat Club for all of its support. And these guys are your 2000 world champions, and they were your Northeast Divisional champs 2 times. They have 10 first place finishers. Currently in third place right now behind High Energy and Propco. Also, special thanks to the family, Chris and Donna Schluss, Martha, Shelby, Christian, Carol, and Paul Murray. Typhoon Racing in third place. Glenn Murray and Randy Schluss, driver and throttleman. There you have some of the other competitors coming up. VR1 Velocity, Flash Wave, and Activator going around the turn. And coming up right behind, there is Chicks Beach Offshore, 29-foot fountain, Chicks Beach. Gino Marone is the driver. Luke Dickey is the throttle man. It's a 29-foot fountain. Gino Marone is the owner of Chicks Beach Offshore. Powered by one 500 horsepower Mercury inboard. Boat ran well in Daytona. Sponsors include Aflac, which offers supplemental insurances like short-term disability, long-term disability, and cancer policies, etc. It's a nationwide insurance company that started in 1955 and insures over 40 million people worldwide. They are a Fortune 500 company and is the largest foreign insurer in Japan. Special thanks to Rick Brzezinski of Aflac. He's an Aflac representative. Other sponsors include Shore Drive Marine, Little Joe's Autos, Chicks Beach Furniture and Fashion, and Amsoil 1 at msn.com. Top of the pack, Chicks Beach Offshore. On board Chicks Beach with Gino Marone and Luke Dickey. Coming up on the inside, there is Patriot, 29-foot fountain. Curtis Watkins and John Thames, driver and throttleman on board. There on the outside, Chicks Beach Offshore. Let's go on board. Vector helicopter shot on the inside. Patriot on the outside is Chicks Beach Offshore. Patriot is owned by Viper Marine, a 29-foot fountain, Mercury powered, 500 horsepower inboard. Curtis Watkins is the driver, John Thames the throttle man. Battle going on here between Patriot and Chicks Beach Offshore in Factory 1. Two fountains battling here, both 29-footers. Both Mercury-powered, very evenly matched boats. Onboard Patriot Racing. Curtis Watkins and John Thames, driver and throttle man. Chicks Beach Offshore and Patriot on the inside. A real battle here going on. Patriot with a slight edge as they go around the turn. You're watching the inaugural Savannah Offshore Grand Prix of Tybee Island. And there you see the many, many spectators in the background getting a great vantage point for this race. Of course, the short race course has helped a great deal. They can watch 100% of the race. And looking downfield, there's Chicks Beach Offshore. Back to helicopter shot. It's Curtis Watkins and John Thames on board Patriot. Chicks Beach Offshore on the outside. Right behind Patriot on the outside. Still a battle between these two Factory 1 competitors. On board Chicks Beach Offshore, we've got Gina Marone and Lou Dickey, driver and throttle man. Again, both of these boats are fountains and 29-footers and Mercury powered. All right, there's Offshore Addiction, 28-foot Warlock Eric Treadwell. The driver, Thomas L. Chesley, is the throttle man. And the sponsors that make this boat the competitive one that it is include Addictive Water Sports, ZEI, Mr. Maintenance, Midas of Rochester, New York, Kids Wish Network, South Bay Temps, and Accurate Auto Tint and Signs. Offshore Addiction, Eric Treadwell and Thomas L. Chesley, driver and throttle man. Flash Wave. Let's go with Flash Wave now. 29-foot Warlock. David Rem is the driver. Jim Scherer is the throttle man. They are a boat from California. Mercury powered. Currently first in the national point standings. Took a second place in Daytona. Third in Cape Cod. Flash Wave. New driver this year for this team is David Rem. He was your 2001 world champion. And Jim Scherer, throttle man, took a second place in the Worlds. Top of the pack in Factory 1, Flash Wave. There's PowerboatTours.com. PowerboatTours.com. A 38-foot cigarette. Brian Hollis, the driver. Louise Whitmore, the throttle person. And Greg Sanders, the navigator. With Superboat.com on the outside. Sponsors include Tal Marine out in Lake Lanier, Georgia, dealer for Formula, Four Wind, Boston Whaler, and Cigarette Offshore Powerboats. Also Big Dog Demolition, Motormat.com, Tucker Welding in Atlanta. And the Atlanta Falcons, Boat Masters, Fiberglass and Gel Coat Repair, and Hollis Transport out in Gainesville, Georgia. Currently in second place in the national point standings. PowerboatTours.com. Right now, number one in P3 class. Nice driving there by Brian Hollis. Louise Whitmore on throttle. Let's listen into their conversation.
Easy. Take it wide. Take it wide. We got a lot. We got a lot on him. Go. Drop your flag. Got 500 yards.
No mistakes.
No mistakes. Run smart.
It's off the course. We need you to drop your flag. Roger that, Captain.
F1 on your left, and that's it. Okay, run. You're all clear for the stern. F1's about 7,500 yards. 88 miles an hour. Hell yeah. 89.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and go to the back boat in?
You got it. All yours. Go. Go, go.
Back to the dock.
Factory helicopter shot. PowerboatTours.com in first place in P3. Brian Hollis, Louise Whitmore, and Greg Sanders on board. There's Offshore Addiction on the outside. Offshore Addiction. On board Offshore Addiction is Eric Treadwell, the driver, Thomas Al Chesley, the throttle man. Merc Cruiser powered. There's PowerboatTours.com on the outside. Offshore Addiction on the inside. Offshore, of course, Factory One boat. And there, looking up ahead, there is Chances Are. Chances Are at 39-foot velocity, Mercury powered, two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. Bob Bull is the driver and throttle man. Jim Bull is the navigator. Bob from Merritt Island, Florida. Jim from Orlando. Sponsors include Agent H Speed Shop and CMS Mechanical. Crew members include Debbie Bull. Debbie Bull is also the owner of this boat. Chances Are. Other competitors in this class include Dirty Cash and PowerboatTours.com. B3 class, Powerboat Tours in first place. There's SuperboatUSA.com on the outside. You're watching the inaugural Savannah Offshore Grand Prix, fourth stop, the APBA National Tour. Our next stop will be Cleveland, Ohio, of course, in the beginning of August, and Freeze Frame Video Productions will be there as we come up on Offshore Addiction. Offshore Addiction. A little bumpy out here in the Atlantic. No problem with these boats. Real battle going on. Fourth stop on the APBA National Tour here in Savannah. Great city for a race and a great city for a little vacation. Wild Rose Sensation, 28-foot sensation. Robert Mazakowski is the driver. Thomas Barbato is the throttle man. Mercury powered. Wild Rose sponsors include Amsoil, Sensation Powerboats, and Turnkey Marine. Robert Mazakowski is from Georgia, Sewanee, Georgia, and Thomas Barbato from Long Valley, New Jersey. Wild Rose, P5. Race number one winding down now. There is Typhoon looking upfield. He's in second place, Typhoon, in Factory 1. Glenn Murray and Randy Schluss, driver and throttleman on board Typhoon. And up ahead there you see the leader, High Energy. High Energy and Typhoon 1 and 2.
Boca Run leader, race control.
We're going to give it a flag toss, Mike. I hope. You're going to check the flag here now? Go over to the big boat. That's ours.
Hook him up.
Let's go past the start finish. That's it. All right. Put it in there, baby. We gotta have that. Yeah! Good job, dude. Yeah!
Excited High Energy crew.
Keep it up. We got boats coming, Get out of the way. Get in the inside. I know. Give me some power. I'll get in there.
Number 1, High Energy in Factory 1. Getting the checkered flag now, as you can see. Race finishing under a yellow flag. Checkered flag for the High Energy race team. And that is it. Race number 1 here at the inaugural Savannah Offshore Grand Prix in Savannah, Georgia. Michael McCarley and Mark Kowalski aboard High Energy. Very happy High Energy racing team. They led right from the green all the way throughout the whole race. All the competitors are finishing under a caution flag because of the Propco incident. Both crew members are okay. Of course, we'll have the results of race number 1. There's Offshore Addiction. Their hatch blew off, but they're going to keep it, it looks like. Offshore Addiction, as we said. We'll have the results for you of race number 1 right after race number 2 coming up in just a few moments. Checkered flag. Many spectators having watched this 4th stop on the national tour of the APBA. First time here in Savannah, Georgia. This is the first of 3 races here in Savannah. Of course, race number 2, and see if anything has progressed there. All right, we've got a quick green flag here in race number 2 in the Super V start. Nick Carter Racing going to the immediate lead, followed by Media Master. It's Nick Carter Racing and Media Master 1 and 2, followed by Utz Quality Foods on the far outside. Nick Carter Racing, 40-foot bout. And there's Media Master and Utz Quality Foods on the far outside. Super V off to a great start here in Savannah. There's Phoenix Waste in the middle. And Pier 57 on the inside. But number 1, it's Nick Carter Racing, 40-foot bout. Mercury powered. Nick Carter Racing followed by Media Master and Utz Quality Foods. Here in the Super V start just moments ago. Got it going. All right, we're going back to the Factory 2 start. Still waiting for the green there with RNS Offshore and Total Marine and Snap-on Talking Tools. Speedwear, Sonic Racing. And we've got a green flag on the Factory 2 start here in race number 2 in Savannah. And we've got Herbert Racing going to the immediate lead, followed by Team Donzi Speedwear, and next to Speedwear is Sonic Racing. Snap-on Talking Tools is also there, RNS Offshore Racing and Total Marine. But on the inside there, you see Herbert Racing, Donzi Speedwear, and Sonic. Herbert Racing on the inside, a 33-foot Wellcraft. Keith Herbert is the driver. Joe Strachey is the throttle man. Mercruiser Power, two 500 horsepower Mercruiser inboards. Currently in third place in the national point standings. Took a first place in Daytona. And next to Herbert Racing is Team Donzi, with Doug Valentine, the driver, Mike Stancombe, the throttle man. 38-foot Donzi. There on the outside is Speedwear, Todd Welling and Lance Hendrickson. Let's go back to Herbert Racing right there. Number one right now in the early moments of this race. Herbert Racing. Keith Herbert and Joe Strachey. And there is Donzi and Speedwear on the outside battling on their own. Donzi and Speedwear. Speedwear, Todd Welling and Lance Hendrickson. On board Donzi, it's Doug Valentine and Mike Stancombe. But Herbert Racing is number one right now. Herbert Racing, your leader. As they go around the turn, Herbert Racing is first into that turn. Herbert Racing, Speedwear, and Donzi. Your early leaders, Herbert Racing, Speedwear, and Team Donzi. Speedwear, Todd Welling and Lance Hendrickson on the outside. 36-foot fountain. Check that, 38-foot fountain powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. On the inside is Team Donzi. 38-foot Donzi. Doug Valentine and Mike Stancombe currently in first place in the national point standings. Herbert Racing and Donzi, 1 and 2. Speedwear on the outside, number 3. Todd Welling, the owner of Speedwear. Speedwear located in California, home for all your embroidery needs. Mr. David Thomas is the owner of Speedwear. All right, Team Donzi now, your leader in first place. Team Donzi, Herbert Racing in second, Speedwear in third. So Team Donzi, your leader now. 38-foot Donzi, Mercury powered. Speedwear and Herbert Racing on the outside. Three boats battling here since the green. Herbert Racing now in third place. Keith Herbert and Joe Strachey on board. Driver and throttle man. There's R&S Offshore Racing, a 38-foot formula. Howard Richardson is the driver. Jack Storley is the throttle man. They're from New Jersey. R&S Offshore is currently in fourth place in the national point standings. They took a third in Marathon, a second place in Cape Cod. Sponsors, Formula Racing and Sirius Satellite Radio. Special thanks to Mike Beekler for equipment sales. This boat finished in fourth place in the Worlds last year. Crew members include Jack Lawson and Marie Richardson. Currently in 4th place in this race right now, R&S Offshore Racing. You're watching race number 2 of 3 races here in Savannah. 4th stop on the national tour, APBA. This is race number 2. Great racing yesterday. Sirius Satellite Radio, one of their sponsors. Total Marine Racing, 38-foot formula. The driver is Mr. Jim Arvis. Tom Caruso, the throttle man. Carl Seda, the owner of Total Marine Racing. It's a 38-foot formula, as we said. It's powered by Merc Cruiser 2 500 horsepower inboards. This boat also was sponsored by Sirius Satellite Radio and Formula. Total Marine, Factory 2. Nice driving there by Mr. Jim Arvis. Tom Caruso on throttle. Another major sponsor for Total Marine Racing, Roger & Sons Food Service Equipment and Supplies. Nice jump there by Total Marine Racing. And as we look to our left, it seems that Team Donzie has missed a turn, putting him farther back in the pack. There's Team Donzie coming up. Doug Valentine and Mike Stancombe on board. First in points in the national point standings. Team Donzie. 38-foot Donzie, Mercury powered. Seems to be somewhat slowing down, having some problems. There's the other Donzie in the race. Snap-on Talking Tools. A 38-foot Donzie. Wilma Ross, the driver. Brian Ross, the throttle man. They're from Oakville, Ontario. Mercury powered 2 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. Sponsors: Snap-on, AC Delco, Hot Knots, and Mercury. Also, Chaco Motorsports and Myco Trailers. Special thanks to Donzi Marine, Steve Simon, Doug Valentine, and their entire crew. Also, special thanks to Jim Caldwell. But they are making their way through the pack. Team Donzi. Total Marine Racing on the outside with Jim Arvis, Tom Caruso. And now we're coming up on High Noon Racing, 27-foot activator, powered by GM Vortec engine. Richie Liguri Jr. is the driver, Richard Liguri on throttle. They're both from Port Jefferson, New York. High Noon Racing. On the inside, there is Snap-on Talking Tools. There's Herbert Racing, which has led most of the race. Keith Herbert and Joe Scrocky on board, driver and throttle man on this 32-foot Wellcraft Scarab. Team Donzi there in the distance as we get a little closer. It's a 38-foot Donzi, Mercury powered. Doug Valentine, the driver, and Mike Stancombe, the throttle man. Powered by two 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. There's Team Donzi coming in there on the left side. Team Donzi coming all the way from behind to win the checkered flag, be your winner in Factory 2 there on the left side, going to the left. And on the right side, we got Nick Carter Racing, has one more lap to go. We'll get the checkered flag in Super V. So first in class in their respective classes. That is the end of race number 2. There you see the many beachgoers and spectators. Great vantage point for these spectators for this race number 2 here in Savannah, Georgia. Great vantage point. Of course, the shorter race course made it all possible. They were able to see the whole race all the time. Beautiful day here in Savannah. Very shortly, the final results for you in race number 2. We got one more to go this afternoon. From 80 competitors and all competing in this event, this 3-race event here in Savannah. The first race here, the inaugural Savannah Offshore Grand Prix. Hope to be here for many, many years to come. All right, in Super V, Nick Carter Racing getting the checkered flag we just saw a little while ago. with Phoenix Waste in second and Media Master in third. Nick Carter Racing getting the checkered flag in Super V class. In the Super V light class, a light twin, Pier 57 Stainless Marine in first, followed by Utz Quality Foods, Castaway, and Rodriguez Group bringing up third place. Pier 57, the checkered flag in Super V class light twin. And the Super V class light single is Vortec Extreme in first, followed by High Noon Racing in second, and PokerRun.com in third place. Vortec Extreme, your winner in Super V light single class. In Factory 2, Team Donza we saw coming up way behind, coming up to win, followed by Herbert Racing in second place and RNS Offshore Racing in third. Team Donza, the surprise winner in Factory 2 class. And in Factory 1, High Energy Racing, that was yesterday, in first place, followed by Typhoon and Activator in third. High Energy all the way in Factory 1 class. In Outlaw P3, it was PowerboatTours.com, followed by Dirty Cash, and Chances Are in third. PowerboatTours.com, checkered flag in P3. And those are your final results in races 1 and 2. Of course, race number 3 to come this afternoon. Highly competitive racing here in Savannah, Georgia. A couple of mishaps, but the Stars Rescue team was right there. The crew members are okay. And what you're looking at right now is a great dry pit venue, the Westin Savannah Harbor Resort and Spa. Just a great facility. Highly competitive racing here. Special thanks to the APBA for orchestrating a fine event here for the first race here in Savannah, Georgia. Now, before we go, there are a few people that we would like to thank. First off, the entire APBA staff we just mentioned. Also, Gary and Nancy Johnson for their fine camera work. Mr. Drew Korn for helping us transport our equipment here to Savannah, Georgia. Mr. Drew Korn with the APBA. Also, a special thanks to our helicopter company, Helicopter Express, and our helicopter pilot, Mr. Scott Runyon. Also, we'd like to mention that Freeze Frame Video Productions will very shortly launch a new website, which we think you will love. Also, all our races for this year and past races are available on the DVD format as well as VHS. This is Vince Lipari wishing you a fond farewell from Savannah, Georgia. Hoping to see you at the next APBA National Race in Cleveland, Ohio. Bye, everyone. Michael Connolly is the driver. Bill Kingery is the Throttlemen. They're from Ohio, local guys. 29-foot fountain. Mercury powered, 500 horsepower Mercury inboard. This is the first year of racing for this team. Randy Owens is the owner crew chief. There are 3 owners, actually 4. Mike Connolly, Bill Kingery, Randy Owens, and Rich Clark. The sponsors, Clark & Associates, American Express, Total Marine Performance, Affiliated Resource Group, International Marketing Group, LA Sports Apparel, Allison Oil, Reichert Ford, Just Floors, and One Call Lawn Care. Special thanks to Scott and Scott. Mutual Fund in Factory 1 class. Top of the pack for Mutual Fund in Factory 1 class, Mike Connolly and Bill Kingery, driver and throttleman. Mercury powered, 500 horsepower inboard. As we move up to some of the leaders now, there is High Energy in Factory 1. High Energy, and right in front of High Energy, we've got H2O Motorsports Propco, and your leader right now in Factory 1 is Team BRE. There's High Energy in Factory 1. Calm Waters here off of Cleveland, Ohio. As we move up to H2O Motorsports Propco propellers, a 28-foot Warlock. Mercury powered, 500 horsepower inboard. The driver is Mr. Michael Milligan. He's from Waco, Texas. Lance Hendrickson, the throttle man. He's from California. H2O Motorsports Propco currently in 5th place in the national point standings with a real chance to move up. And he's doing real well right now, though he's had his problems during the season. He's cranking around this course. Currently in 2nd place in Factory 1. Some of the spectator boats in the background. H2O Motorsports. Mike Milligan and Lance Hendrickson on board, driver and throttle man. They're, of course, the Cleveland Skyline. In V1 class, there's Realize Gain, a 24-foot Rhino powerboat with Bobby Fisher, the driver, and Chris Rhino, the throttle man. Currently in first place in the national point standings, took a second in Daytona, first in Marathon, first in Cape Cod, and a second in Savannah. Special thanks, as always, Bobby sends special thanks to his beautiful wife, Kimberly, and his children, Madison and Austin. Bobby Fisher, the driver, Chris Rhino, the throttle man. As we said, this boat is currently in first place in the national point standings. There's 57 being towed in, and mutual fund going by. Realize Gain. Realize Gain, V1. Chris Rhino, the owner. All right, looking up ahead, there is Typhoon Racing now, F-129, a 26-foot kryptonite. Mercury Power, Glenn Murray is the driver. Randy Schluss is the throttle man. They're from New Jersey. And up ahead, there is High Energy and Mutual Fund also in their class, Factory 1. Typhoon Racing took a second place in Marathon, a second in Savannah, and a second in Cape Cod. Currently in third place in the national point standings with a chance to move up. Typhoon Racing. Crew members include Rich Asman, Jimmy Welsh, Glenn Helwig, Mark Aziz, Brett Griner, Big Eddie, also Jack and Diane and Bob Meyer. Special thanks to the family, Chris and Donna Schluss, Martha Shelby, Christian, Karen, Carol, and Paul Murray. And a special thanks to Kryptonite Powerboats for building a superior boat and being a factory sponsor. Laura Gifford for being the team's best fundraiser. The Raritan River Boat Club for all of their support as well. On board Typhoon Racing now with Glenn Murray and Randy Schluss. This is at the start. These guys are your 2000 world champions, by the way. Now, Flashwave and Activator are tied for first place in the national point standings in Factory 1. We haven't seen them at all, so Typhoon Racing is doing very well right now and with a chance to move up in the standings. Typhoon Racing. Glenn Murray and Randy Schluss on board. There's High Energy on the inside. High Energy, your other Factory 1 boat. High Energy, a 27-foot activator. Typhoon right behind, though. High Energy, as we said, a 27-foot activator with Michael McCarley, the driver. Mark Kowalski is the throttle man. 500 horsepower inboard. High Energy Racing. Mark Kowalski is the owner. Sponsors include Fifth Third Bank. Fifth Third Bank Corp is a diversified financial services company headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. Also, Willem Roofing Company, a third-generation family-owned commercial and industrial roofing and sheet metal firm established in 1954. Also, Whiskey Island Marina, located in Cleveland. Mazzella Lifting Technologies, Thunder Alley Graphics, specializing in wicked designs and killer signs, vinyl, airbrush, and custom art for motor and water sports, and ProStar Specialties, #1 choice for promotional products, serving clients worldwide. They offer name brands such as Nike, Izod, Cutter, and Buck to fill your clothing needs. Right now, High Energy Racing in second place in Factory 1. Mike McCarley and Mark Kowalski on board. Now, these guys did miss Daytona, the first race in the APBA racing season, but they do have a chance to move up a couple of notches here in Cleveland. Up ahead, there we see Mutual Fund slowing down somewhat. We don't know why. In the meantime, there's High Energy. High Energy in Factory 1. Mutual Fund slowing down. Mutual Fund with Mike Connolly and Bill Kingery. And there is Typhoon right behind High Energy. A battle here in Factory 1 class. It's High Energy and Typhoon Racing. Typhoon Glenn Murray and Randy Schluss on board Typhoon Racing. High Energy is Mike McCarley and Mark Kowalski. A real battle here in Factory 1 class between these two boats. At the start, on board, High Energy. Mike McCarley and Mark Kowalski on board this 27-foot activator, High Energy Racing.
Hang on. I got the boss this way, Mark. Over. We're going across now. All right. Keep it in. Hey, Bobco's back here. They're going to try to get us on the inside, so I'm going to cut across that way. I'm coming across now. Keep it in, Bob. Don't float up.
All right, back to your helicopter shot. There is High Energy. 27-foot activator. As we saw a few moments ago, Mutual Fund is out of the race. High Energy and Typhoon still battling. Glenn Murray and Randy Schluss. Typhoon on the outside. Glenn and Randy from New Jersey. All right, now we're going to go with Chicks Beach Offshore. Chicks Beach Offshore, 29-foot fountain. Gino Marone and Lou Dickey, driver and throttleman on board, Mercury-powered, 500 horsepower Mercury inboard. Ran well in Daytona. Currently in 5th place in the national point standings. Took a 5th place in Saboon Aflac. Offers supplemental insurances. Also Shore Drive Marine, Little Joe's Autos, and Chicks Beach Furniture and Fashion, and Anzoil 1 at msn.com. Chicks Beach Offshore. Gino Marone, the owner of this 29-foot fountain. Nice driving there by Gino Marone, Lou Dickey, the throttleman. Gino from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Lou from Cordova, Tennessee. Chicks Beach Offshore. Gino Marone and Lou Dickey. Some conversation there on board that 29-foot fountain. F-141. Mercury powered. There's Harwich Concrete. Harwich Concrete F-257, a 35-foot fountain. Mark O. Duggan is the driver. Chris Wickstrom is the throttleman. Harwich right now your leader in class. Took a first place in marathon, but currently is in 5th place in the national point standings, but leads right now in class. Harwich Concrete. And if he continues in this position and wins this race in Factory 2, he could move up. He will move up to 4th place in the national point standings. Harwich Concrete in first place in Factory 2. Marco Duggan and Chris Wickstrom on board. Let's go on board now with Harwich Concrete. This is at the start. In first place in Factory 2, Harwich Concrete. Other competitors in Factory 2 include Sonic Racing, Speedway, Let's Play Racing, Total Marine Racing, Twisted Sticks, Snap-on Talking Tools, Team Dunze, R&S Offshore Racing, Let's Play Racing. Lots and lots of competitors in Factory 2. We're going to go with Team Dunze now, a 38-foot Dunze Mercury-powered. Doug Valentine's the driver. Mike Stancombe is the throttle man. Currently are in first place in the national point standings in Factory 2. They took a second in Daytona, a second in Marathon, first in Cape Cod, and a first in Savannah. And they have a substantial lead over Herbert Racing in the national point standings in Factory 2. Team Dunze. Special thanks to Dunze's VP of Operations, Mr. Steve Simon. And I would like to thank also Team Dunze's sponsors for all their support. Featherlight, Daytona Harley-Davidson, Honda Generators, Mercury, also Throttle Up Propellers, and a special thanks to the crew chief, Dave Pyle,